all right. Welcome to episode 5 of Iggy the Man. Today's topic is going to be the do's and don'ts of for Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. Quite a very special holiday that you should always make an effort to practice gratitude, not just in Thanksgiving, but all the time. But today's episode is going to be the do's and don'ts of Thanksgiving. A few things we're going to talk about. First thing, tried and true, it's going to be chaos, human chaos, and, start a clip with a little bad behavior because, it's always entertaining. Another thing we're going to talk about is going to be what not to do. The don'ts of Thanksgiving is going to be what not to do when going home, how not to act. Have a very interesting clip that, a lot of people have probably seen from years ago. It's great. Then we're also going to talk about doing Thanksgiving by yourself. What you can do when you're doing Thanksgiving by yourself, or what you should try to do so you can, not be doing Thanksgiving by yourself. We're also going to talk about some southern dishes that you can make, side dishes you can make for Thanksgiving. Being from Texas or living in Texas, southern dishes are delicious. Southern food is the best. And then we're going to end with a good clip, or a good recipe, pavochon, which I'm looking to make during Christmas for my friends because, I got too many friends. Some I wanted to make friends with, some I didn't. They just made me be their friends. But I look forward to the show. Let's have a great time, and I hope you enjoy this time. All right, so first segment today is tried and true. I think it's going to be something we're going to start with. A human chaos clip. So this one is from ATX, where we're at. And this one's pretty freaking funny. So it's a clip from Austin, 6th Street. So here we go, and watch this. All right. Today's first target or first subject or first segment is going to be something that's probably going to be tried and true here that I think most people enjoy. A little bit of human chaos. This one comes from Texas Street Fight TV at TikTok. And it's just, not the best of people, but, it's just what happens here on what we call dirty. It's the first rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club, but, dirty is where you go if you want to get in a fight after like 1 a.m. So here we go. Let's see. Officers, handling a suspect. Fairly common. This fight happened in Thanksgiving on 6th Street. See, this is the old Austin, right? When they used to have those horses we spoke about in the past. Oh, officer fell off the horse. Wow. Again, these horses are very trained. They this is how they used to break up the street back in the day. I don't know what they do with these horses now. I know I've seen them over on the trails before because I think that's what they're deciding to do with them because, they got to. But that female officer is a female officer that fell. Look, see people acting up. This is a little bit of the old Austin, before they don't shut the streets down on weekends anymore. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. It depends on what you're talking about. But again, guys, that's the thing about it. That's the thing. Oh, gross. So you just got a little glimpse of the old Austin. Those cops, they still have these horses. No, I see these horses on the trail mostly. But that's how they used to break up situations, and the cops would do around 1 a.m. And a positive of not having these damn horses is that at 1 a.m. they would show up and start I'm pretty sure they got trained to fucking take a shit and poop just to spread the crowd, But, for better or worse, they don't no longer lock the streets down on weekends. I think they still do lock the streets down for Halloween, as we saw in the previous episode. But, just, I don't know. It's between horses, pepper spray, tasers, or batons. I don't know. Pick your poison on how you want when you want to come to Austin and act up. Pick your poison. So, second thing we're going to talk about, second segment that we're talking about is going to be, this is a classic one. So this video that we're about to play is, and those you definitely Gen Zers that are chronically online, millennials, you probably saw this one, I think, back in the day, 10 years ago. So 2015 is when this came out. So apparently this clip, it was back when skits was are what they are now, which is most influencers or like, you know, fucking online personalities always try to do skits just to keep people entertained. This was some of the first like skits that people didn't know were skits because, like, you know, it was so believable. But if we're gonna say what not to do, do's and don'ts of Thanksgiving, this is what not to do when at the family dinner. So it's about 3 minutes. I'm gonna pause it in between and we'll talk a little bit about.
I think it's stupid.
Well, I know you think it's stupid, but at least
You
you can say
can't force
something.
religious beliefs on me.
Oh, nobody's forcing that on you.
Yeah, you kind of are.
Let's stop.
It's just a home video. We do it all the time. It's
He
fine.
does this every year. He does what he makes it.
Mom, we're gonna look back on this and we're gonna enjoy it, laugh, and everything. It's fine.
You did make everybody
That's all
happy.
you
I'll
do.
say grace.
You're just doing this to get on my.
Typical Thanksgiving interaction. You know, everybody's talking. If you ever, I don't know if you noticed, I'm Puerto Rican. Definitely, my family Thanksgiving is a lot louder than this. Leave it to white people not to be as loud as other cultures.
My nerves. Say, you're the head
Yeah,
of the
I
house.
am. All right, bow your head. Dear Lord, bless the food that's in front of us. Thank you, dear Lord, for all the family that is around the table. And dear Lord, please, I emphasize please, find Jesse a job come Monday morning. Amen.
Oh,
Amen.
yeah.
Amen.
Real funny, Dad.
That's some shit that that's a prayer that like my dad would probably say or my mom and be like, please bless my son to hopefully get gainfully employed and just do the rat race.
Made me look like a stupid idiot in front of the whole family.
It wasn't funny. It was
You do this all the
sarcasm.
time.
I know.
Sarcasm makes me look stupid.
Jess, all we want is a job. That's all we need from you.
And I work for you. That's not a job. That's not good enough.
Yeah, that's good enough. That's plenty good enough.
Could you
Why
just, just say something
What?
that you're thankful for? It's Thanksgiving. You could
I'm
just
not
say,
playing his game. Why are you taking his side?
I'm just trying to keep the peace. Let's just say something that you're thankful
Okay.
for.
Yeah, no, all right. Do I have to fold my hands and look up to the
Just-
heavens and get on
just
my
do what
knees?
your
It would be nice.
Please.
Please, God, like, oh, I'm grateful for. All right, yeah, no.
I'm definitely the type of person that's like the guy filming, just like, you know, gaslighting the whole
I
family.
love it. It looks so good, and I'm grateful for video games.
There it
If
is.
we're being honest, and I'm grateful for Halo came out recently, and I look up to the Master Chief. He's kind of my hero.
I love him.
Not that anyone would understand. And I'm grateful for Mom for buying me a new Xbox One after my dick of a dad destroyed it.
So you don't appreciate
Amen.
it?
Threw her under the bus.
You don't appreciate it?
If you're a millennial, you remember the early years of online Halo, the multiplayer online lobby, before they started adding all the admins, and you couldn't say the most hateful things. I miss those lobbies, you know. You could be like, I think it was like 16, 17 when the first Halo came out, somewhere around there. And those lobbies were wild, you know. I used to play with my friends, and they literally would play, and they would just give me the headset so I could talk smack. And again, you know, that's the best part of little regulation. You could just speak your mind and you know, deal with the consequences. So
I love him.
Not that anyone would understand. And I'm grateful for Mom for buying me a new Xbox One after my dick of a dad destroyed it.
So you don't appreciate anything?
Threw her under the bus.
You don't appreciate anything
Oh,
we've
sorry.
done
Did I
for you?
put you in the spot there? Did I make you look embarrassed?
Oh shit! That
If
is.
you're not going to act right around there, be part of the family.
You want to make a scene during Thanksgiving?
Yeah,
really?
I do. Because if you don't want to be
Oh,
part
God.
of the family, then get out.
What do you
You're not part of the family the way you act.
Oh boy.
I'm not part of the family?
No. You don't act right, you're not part of the family.
No, that's a warranted crash out. I'm sorry. If my dad came at me with some attitude like that, I'd be like, all right, well, you know, I'm explosive. My mom helped me discover that. I'm working on it. But, you know, reasonable crash out. Like, if you're going to tell me I'm not part of the family, all right, I'll show you what a stranger does when you, get spicy.
You don't act right, you're not part of the family.
Oh my God.
Yeah, nobody's having a good time. If I'm not having a good time, nobody's having a good time.
Oh my Lord.
And you're filming? God! I'm so done! What's the matter? No! I'm done! I'm done! I'm done! Well, God! And you, I hope you got your great Thanksgiving video! What a great family this is! Piece of shit!
I'm thankful for
All right,
it.
first of all, I would never use that sort of language in my household or in my parents' household. Cursing at people you care about is never a good thing. Point made. But in my personal opinion, this is what happens when you don't get disciplined enough, aka corporal punishment. You get like smacked around. Anyways, some people, we have terms like gentle parenting nowadays, which is why we have so many insane younger folks that have never been punched in the face. I think everybody, I'm a feminist, equal opportunity for all. Everybody deserves to get punched in the face at least once. So you know what that feels like. So then whenever you decide to write some checks that your fist can't cash, you got to deal with that. So this is a don't at family unless you're ready to deal with the consequences. And, this is why Thanksgiving is so important. It's an opportunity to practice gratitude. You should always practice gratitude, not just in Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving is always a day where it facilitates you thinking of what you're grateful for. But don't be this guy. Come on. Nobody wants to. This is like a sore loser type of scenario where it's like, oh, just because somebody says something mean, now you want to lash out. Don't lash out. And if you do lash out, it comes with consequences. A lot of people are not used to dealing with consequences. Everybody's being softened. But just don't do that. Now we find out, like later on after this came out, comes to find out this guy was one of the first skit creators. So this isn't real. Turns out they planned all this. And somehow he got the whole family involved, which is pretty impressive. But regardless whether this is a real clip or not, just don't do that. Like, come on. It's a good time. You got to put all your differences aside. Even with that uncle, cousin, even sibling. If you have beef, it's beef, Like, you could always wait and hash. Usually I like to wait for any Thanksgiving beef with my family or any social event or any public event. It's better off just to hash out those beefs like later on the side and go, hey Brian, you don't like me, I don't like you. Can I talk to you over here aside? And then as a man, do what you got to do. So better out than in. You should never let your ill emotions to fester, because it's just gonna eat at you. So I don't know. Speak your mind. That's why I like this part. That's why I created this podcast, to try to give people an idea on. It's not bad when you speak your mind, but you have to be prepared to deal with consequences that come with writing those checks. Yeah. So don't do that. This is a don't, obviously. So But next thing I want to talk about is, what if your family lives too far? You can't make it. What if you don't have family? Family is where you make it. In my opinion, the key to happiness is family, friends, community, and then society. You should always care about society. You should always care about your family and friends. You should care about yourself most of all. If you're doing Thanksgiving by yourself, I don't know. The interesting fact, statistical fact, highest number of DWIs happen during Thanksgiving because people tend to go home and they see old friends, old acquaintances, and they drink a lot, and then they go drive home. This is why living in Austin is actually kind of a perk, because Austin's very small, so you could Uber anywhere. At most, pay $30 inflated rate, but who cares? Like, that's better than a DWI. But if you're doing Thanksgiving by yourself, man, communities where you create it. Make an effort to build your community. And we live in an era of social media. Gen Z is definitely way more disconnected physically from building community, because they tend to have built communities online. But I don't know about you, man. Like, just that physical contact, like actually physically present, is something that we should strive to try. Because now with VR too, I don't know. Maybe I could do an episode on like a VR lobby and use like Oculus or whatever, any one of those like VR platforms. And maybe I'll do something like that just to show why it's important to to physically be present. Because you cannot just like subsidize that. Yeah, we're creatures of comfort. We're social creatures, and the less time you physically spend with people. And Ed Hardy is one of my favorite actors. He's the actor that did Venom, and the quote I heard from him, I don't know who heard it from or if he came up with it. It goes, loneliness is addicting, because the longer you spend time by yourself, the more addicted to it you become. So, always try to be the best version of yourself that you can. I always wake up and try my hardest to be grateful, practice gratitude again. And yeah, it's going to feed your soul, man. That's what Thanksgiving is about. It's just to feed your soul. Family, friends, community. But nobody likes an asshole. Nobody likes an asshole unless you're my asshole. So, but yeah, don't do that. If you're by yourself, like, just go to a bar. Thanksgiving, like, you could always do Thanksgiving by yourself. Make yourself some dishes. Explore. Going to a bar on Thanksgiving is the best, because everybody's like so friendly. During the holidays, that's the best part. That's honestly the best part of America too. Also, not to get political, but America is amazing because it doesn't matter where you're from, where you come from. That having an identity of like being American is very important, and it's something that we should hold dear to our hearts, because most countries don't have that. Most countries are separated by ideals. But in America, being able to speak your mind, hey, like my podcast, it allows you just to not have to bite your tongue. But again, it comes with consequences. So if you do Thanksgiving by yourself and you're lonely, do better, be better. Try your hardest next time. So, and following up on the Thanksgiving theme, I'm going to be showing some of my favorite Southern dishes. So, all right, we're gonna start. Something that's really funny is gonna be what you guys call stuffing, right? In the South, they call it dressing. Not salad dressing, dressing. So, dressing is basically stuffing, but it's made by itself, and it's the same thing basically, but, you know, with a lot more flavor in the South. That's what I love about the South. I love about Texas is we're close to Mexico, so like access to all sorts of flavors. But yeah, that's what dressing is. One of my favorite dishes. I never made dressing, but I've been to plenty of Friendsgivings that my culture friends know how to make dressing. Also, I only hang out with cultured people. Get cultured, man. Just because you're in America, America is number one, best country to be in. But best quote I heard about America is, again, not to be politics, don't get triggered, during the Trump first term was, what is America but a country filled of people they claim to be the best, but most have never traveled outside its borders. So we can be the best, but you should always try to be the best all around. Second favorite dish is going to be deviled eggs. I love deviled eggs. I never made them. Because I'm a little, I'm hypercritical because I'm always trying to be the best version of me. So everything I create has to be the best. And deviled eggs are delicious. One of my fondest memories. And to date, the best deviled eggs. Comfort food, you know? The thing about comfort food is, and thing about food in general, it triggers your brain to remember the fondest memories that you could have regarding what you're tasting. So it's the one item that triggers all your pleasure receptors that, you know, you're doing taste, touch, visual, all of it. And then like it triggers those memories, you know. A little bit about me is I have a decade of like restaurant experience, and I grew up with a very strong family, and my grandmother on my dad's side, she was worked in a restaurant with my grandfather, Chicago, Puerto Rican restaurant, and food is very important to me. She's the one that like taught me how to cook, or not only how to cook, but like the effects of food and feeding people. So deviled eggs are very fond to me because I had a neighbor, Linda McDonald, and I had a very amazing upbringing, stable household, and she made the best deviled eggs, bro. Like, ugh. I would never try deviled eggs to like make them just because I'm too afraid I'm not going to get the right recipe. But deviled eggs are one of my favorites. Anytime I see them, usually in Southern cooking, my standards are really high for deviled eggs. So enough about that. Last side dish that Southern side dish you could endeavor on trying to create, and this one's very difficult, collard greens. Collard greens is very difficult to make. Always wash everything. It's a Southern ingredient. They call them mustard greens, or collard greens, mustard greens, same thing. They have to get boiled in like ham hocks or like turkey meat, and it's very difficult to make them to taste good because they tend to be bitter. So you have to make them the right way. So, Sophia, you're snoring too hard. Come to better. But collard greens are awesome. One of my best friends, Miss Moon, she cooks better than anybody ever because, you know, she's amazing. But collard greens is something that she definitely makes, like, very well. And once you have, like, it's like a haircut. Once you have a really good haircut, and food is the same thing, or pretty much everything. Why? Are you mad, Sophia? You don't want to come over? Okay, fine. She got upset because I grabbed at her. Once you have a really good dish with a lot of flavor, you can never go back. So collard greens are really fucking special to my side or to my heart, because I've had the best of the best. So, but those are some of the things some of the dishes that you could always like. If you're from the South, you just definitely like try because they're like Southern dishes. But reverting back to doing Thanksgiving by yourself, you're only doing it by yourself because you choose to. Listen, if you don't have family, or if you have if your family's too far away, create a community, make an effort. And Gen Zers are having a hard time with this because, they have a community, but it's all online. And this is why when I say the word friends, I hold it very dear to my heart, because most people are acquaintances. But, happiness, the key to happiness is family, friends, then community. You got to get out of your shell. And there's no reason why, again, when you get out of your shell, you're going to have to prep for disappointment. And that's just part of it. What is it? I'm thinking of a quote is, scared money makes no money. So if you're going to invest, you should always invest on yourself, invest on people, invest financially, but you're always investing. Your time is precious. So we've done the don'ts, what you should do for Thanksgiving. And we're getting close to the end. What you should do for Thanksgiving is practice gratitude. Depression is at an all-time high. People are eating antidepressants like Tic Tacs. Think about medicine or antidepressants. They're a tool. They're not the solution. So happiness comes within. And if you're not happy in your heart, then how can you try to make other people happy? So fake it till you make it. It's what I try to do. I always try to pretend I'm happy even when I'm not. So happiness is fleeting. So always do your best, man. And Thanksgiving is the best time to just put your best foot forward. So thank you for being here. Last thing I'm going to leave you with, it's going to be a recipe that I'm going to attempt to make for my friends. And it's from... It's pavo chon. Pavo chon in Puerto Rico, pork, just like a lot of small islands. Sorry, my nose is itchy. Pavo chon is basically, in Puerto Rico, we have something called pernil. It's the way we make, what is it called? Pork shoulder. And Puerto Ricans, culturally, we are very mixed. That's why I'm so handsome. And pavo chon is basically the same seasoning they use for Puerto Rican style pork shoulder, pernil, but they make it with the turkey. So I'm going to show you what pavo chon looks like, and it's coming from TikTok, Beatriz Cooking Nieves.
Pavo chon. I'm excited to partner with Maggie because it's always been the staple for most of my recipes to bring elevated dishes. First, we're going with natural ingredients combined with Maggie chicken bouillon, ways to add a burst of authentic flavor to your everyday
Look at the flavor.
Everyday homemade dishes. These combined ingredients will guarantee the most flavorful, juicy, and tender results. And no worries, the ingredients will be listed in the comments. After combining all the ingredients in your food processor, I like my garlic to be chunky. I don't want it too pasty. Before I start marinating, I'm working an 11-pound turkey. You want to make sure you lift the skin underneath so we can evenly coat the marinade inside and out. We're going to let our turkey marinate for 24 hours. And this part optional. I have some extra herbs and garlic.
Layers on flavor.
We're going to throw that in there, tuck the wings, and we're going to close the legs. I'm using up some heavy-duty aluminum foil. We're going to form it to like an air balloon. In the oven it goes on 400 degrees. We're going to cover for 3 hours.
Yo, she knows what she's doing. That's fire.
After 3 hours, we're going to cover and we're going to keep basting until your desire. Maggie inspires you to turn any of your creation into something exquisite.
Maggie
Whatever you
fire.
make, imagine
That's
with
all
Maggie.
I have to say. So, just to give you a... last thoughts, not thoughts like thoughties, but or OnlyFans thoughts like in your head. It's Thanksgiving. What better time to practice gratitude? But you don't have to leave practicing gratitude just to Thanksgiving. You could always, like, which is what I do, is wake up. And instead of focusing on the pearls that I have to deal with for the day, wake up and just be grateful that you didn't die in your sleep. And, you know, guys, especially if you live in the U.S., you're lucky already. So practice gratitude. Gratitude's about the good things. Focus on the good. Focus on the trials and tribulations and the good things that came from, you know, the trauma on your efforts. But again, a good quote that I heard is, failures are not failures. It's all perception. They're just lessons. So even when you think you've experienced a failure, it's all about perception. It's just a lesson, not a failure. So thank you for being here and joining me. I hope you enjoy this show. I think next episode is going to be about dating shows. I don't do dating shows or like watch them at all, but hopefully we'll get my co-host Ashley. You guys met her. So if you have questions, you know, you'll see her next time. Thank you for being here for Iggy the Man, another episode. And, you know, every Friday we're trying to put a new episode every Friday. So tune in every Friday. See you later. Thanks for being here. Peace.